And welcome back to Let's Play Okami. Last time we explored Wep'keer and got our new objective of rescuing Lika, who apparently is the key to saving the entire village. This time we're actually going to try to save her. However unsuccessful we will most likely be. Now I don't know where to go. All my map is saying is to go southeast of here. So I'm assuming that means I assume that means that place that we passed by? Because there was that one building we passed by that, not that building, that one area we passed by and couldn't do anything in. So most likely, that's where we need to go next. And a stray bead by complete accident. Somehow, because it's not surprised me. Okay, so there's 4 in Wep'keer. Spelling. Yeah, I'm just guessing on the pronunciation. At some point I need to look up how it's spelled in the Japanese version, because that will tell me a lot for, hello. Been playing in the snow and trying to make a big snowball. Got bigger than I planned though. All the grown-ups complain. I almost said captains, it's like, why? All of the grown-ups complain about the snow. We kids love being outside, doesn't matter how cold it is. Why don't you try making a big snowball too, Wolfie? I'm only a kid, so that's the biggest I can manage. But you're bigger than me, so you should be able to do better. Just keep unrolling that one there. Make it really, really huge. Why am I doing this? Like, I'm confused. Like, obviously this is significant somehow. Hello, Mr. Treasure Chest. Is this a Wep'keer, technically? How do I recenter the camera? I've been playing Xenoblade, so I'm a little bit spoiled when it comes to a button to recenter the camera. Not gonna lie, it's kind of absent in this game. I should specify Xenoblade Chronicles X. If I didn't actually say X, I think I didn't. I just said Xenoblade Chronicles. But yeah, so actually a really fun game. I just wish it wasn't so really hard. There were weird difficulty spikes, that's all I'm gonna say about it. Story-wise, I'm not really digging it. Like, it's more gameplay than story, which is like the opposite of Xenoblade 1, I feel. Where Xenoblade was very story-heavy, but not so much, like the gameplay was not the focus of the original Xenoblade, if you ask me. I'm sure opinions will differ, because it's the internet, but in my opinion, the first Xenoblade you play for the story and characters, not so much for the gameplay, even though the gameplay is actually really good. But the gameplay really isn't the focal point. I hope this doesn't require getting every patch of snow in this entire field, because if so, that would kind of suck. But I wouldn't put it past this game to do something like that. I think they might be respawning too, which also would make it difficult. So yeah, I really hope I don't have to get every piece of snow. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna roll it back to him and see what he has to say about this. Hello. Is this good enough for you? Why'd you roll my snowball off to, Wolfie? You are making it bigger for me, aren't you? Okay, so I have to roll it directly to him. That's fine. Is that close enough? Keep going. Great. You're bigger than me. It's like, no I'm not. Like, marginally, yes, but like not significantly so. I'm assuming the fire is probably a bad thing in this case, because, you know, snow melts. So yeah, let's not go over fire. Let's try to avoid fire if we can. Yeah, I have no clue what I'm even doing this for. I don't know if it melted when I pushed it into fire. Wasn't really paying enough attention. It would be so minute that it didn't really change, if it did change at all. How big do I have to make this? I guess to make it so big that you can't see a noticeable difference in it increasing. That's probably what I'll have to do. That doesn't seem to be melting it. Okay. Yeah, it's not melting it, so that's good. Makes things a little bit easier for us, at least. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna need to collect every pile of snow, because it looks like it's picking up at a pretty decent rate. Also, spinning the camera actually is more effective than turning. That's what I'm actually doing. I'm turning the camera, not on me. This is probably a complete waste of time, and this is gonna be the entire episode. Just collecting snow for 20 minutes. That's how this game kind of feels at times, where it's just... you just don't make much story progress, and you just have to kind of accept that. And I feel like that way about every game of this sort of Zelda-like subgenre. Yeah, Zelda-like isn't actually a term, but it is now. Like, you know, a lot of games in that sort of Zelda style do use similar conventions like that. Hello, is this good enough for you? Shoot. Okay. Okie dokie. Again, I think I've talked about this before, but part of me actually wanted for a while to do like my Wind Waker playthrough and do a 3-heart run of Majora's Mask, actually. But then it occurred to me that most of Majora's Mask is just side quests. So to cut out the side quests, it would be a very insubstantial LP. So I was thinking just going 100% in the first place. By the way, Majora's Mask is my second favorite Zelda, if I haven't said that enough times already. Wind Waker's my favorite just because it's my first. I mean, I will fully admit, in my opinion, that Majora's Mask is actually a better game than Wind Waker, but I have less love for it. It has really good moments, so Majora's Mask is definitely, in my opinion, the best Zelda. And, oh, okay. Again, there's a difference between best versus favorite. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda, but I'd say Majora's Mask is the best Zelda. I do that a lot. Like, I say Super Mario Galaxy is the best Mario, 3D Mario, but I actually say I like Sunshine more. Like, if someone asks me what my favorite is, that's usually the answer I'll give, because, again, I will fully admit Sunshine has a lot of problems. I mean, look at that LP, where half of it was blue coins. I mean, for LPs that just get all the regular shines and leave out the blue coins, I can't blame them, because the blue coins are a miserable time. They really are. Very miserable time. So yeah, I cannot blame anyone for just doing the bare minimum and not really 100%ing it. And this is coming from someone who's actually completed Sunshine 3 times. Which sounds like a lot, but it seemed more if you consider all the blue coins as their own thing, and that takes a very long time. Yeah, did that snow just respawn? Okay. Okay, so there's a bunch of snow over there. Yeah, I can't tell if the snow is respawning or not. I don't think it is, but it just feels like I'm missing a lot of little tiny patches at this point. But I have a feeling, knowing this game, that's gonna make me collect literally every piece of snow on the entire map. So I'm just sort of being, you know, using foresight and just trying to collect as many as I can. What else is an example of that? Like, yeah, I have this weird thing where there are a lot of games that I don't like, but I can admit that they're actually really good, which is always weird, but again, that is definitely the case for me. Like, I'm really not into Uncharted, but I admit they are very, for the most part, really well made games. I'd say 3 and 4 are a little bit shaky. A lot shaky at certain parts, but for the most part they're pretty good, but with some very shaky moments. But 2 is easily my favorite, as is most people's favorites. But I will not put it like on the top 10 games ever list, because to me, 2's good, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not like for me, I guess. Yeah, that's actually in the opposite direction. You know, Final Fantasy is another one where, like, I actually would say 4 is a better game than 6 and 9, but I actually like 6 and 9 better most of the time. Sometimes I like 4 better. I was actually thinking about picking up the PSP version of 4 for a Let's Play. But then my playthrough 1 kind of did not turn out well because of all the random encounters and stuff like that. So I decided against ever LPing another Final Fantasy pretty much ever. At least for the very near future, there will not be any Final Fantasy just because those games are too dang long. Too dang long. And also, one's short, by the way. One is short compared to literally every other Final Fantasy. Because one takes like 20 hours. Most of them are closer to like 40 to 50 hours. Which, to put things in perspective, we're not even that far into Okami. We're only 35 hours in, and we're at 80 episodes because of the way I'm dividing it. So I'm thinking that if I ever do a Final Fantasy, I'm gonna break the 20-minute rule and go up to 30. Push it up to a 30-minute rule, just because I'm noticing that the 20-minute rule really doesn't work for long games. For Super Paper Mario, I'll probably do the same. I'm actually reconsidering doing that next, because I don't know if I want to do 2 long games in a row, or if I want to spread them out. Like if I want to do a couple short projects, because I have a few short projects in mind. I've been thinking about playing like Kid Icarus and Metroid, the originals. I've also been thinking about playing like the original Zelda, but that would be kind of a mid-sized LP, like maybe 15 to 20 hours, because I'm not good at the game. Like most people can beat Zelda in like 2 hours, but I'm not most people. Okay. Okami then can't happen because I don't have a capture card. I've actually been thinking about getting a capture card just for the original DS, because I don't have many 3DS games that I really want to LP. They're mostly just original DS. Because I feel like the original DS's backlog is a little bit less explored, because quite frankly, the DS came out in 2005, so that was before Let's Playing was even a thing. To my knowledge, Let's Playing kind of came about around 2006 to 2007, I think on like the Something Awful forums. Is where a lot of the early Let's Players started out, before YouTube, back when Google Video was actually a thing. A separate thing, I should clarify. So yeah, I kind of want to do some original, I do more original DS stuff than, you know, current DS stuff. Like Legendary Starfy. I actually found the 4th game recently. A source of a lot of confusion is that the game we got, the Legendary Starfy, is actually the 5th game in the series. But I actually found the 4th game in like mid-condition, Japan only. But I found it at like a used game store. I can't read much of it, but it's actually pretty fun. It feels a little bit more Metroidvania, while the Legendary Starfy, or Densetsu no Starfy 5, feels a little bit more linear. Yeah, I'd actually enjoy playing those games at some point. Super Princess Peach is another game that I feel is like super underrated. And you know, I've talked about Professor Layton on so many occasions. I'm actually trying some workarounds right now. Woohoo! You did it, Wolfie! I've never seen a snowball this huge. Can't believe you got so big. It's almost scary, but really cool too. You're definitely the Snowball King of Kamui now, Wolfie. First, Hall Digging King, and now Snowball King. Boy, you sure have a bunch of silly titles. Then again, he also has titles like No, or she also has titles like No Bath on Me. So it's like, instance titles for her aren't any better. Okay, so we got an exorcism slip. But yeah, I've also been thinking about playing a bunch of really old, like, GBA or GBC games. If I can find them. Most of them wouldn't be a problem. You know, because most GB and GBC games were sold in the millions. But one that would be a huge challenge would be Shantae. Because that game is like $200 usually, on like the low end. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll ever tackle the Shantae games in order. Emulating is an option, but I'd prefer owning a physical copy if I'm going to emulate it. And also, if I ever do any more Game Boy games, they will be emulated because, well, frankly, the ones I own. But two, like with Animal Crossing, there's all those desyncing issues with GameCube. And I've heard other people having issues with the GameCube and Elgato capture cards. So I'll look into it some more. If I can figure out the Animal Crossing bug, that would help. But if I ever do like Pokemon Emerald, that would most likely not be on the original GameCube because it would be a really crummy experience. But I do own the physical cart of Emerald, albeit the batteries died, so timed events don't work. Anyway, I feel like I'm shortchanging you because that entire episode was just snowballs. Like, I kind of wish I could do more, but we only have like 4 minutes. Maybe, yeah, 4.5. Ooh. Rosary that uses divine light to guide lost souls to the right path. Good. That's cool. Only problem is now we can't get the upgrade. We're even farther from the upgrade than we were. To put things in perspective, that upgrade was like 300,000. So yeah, I probably shouldn't be buying stuff, really. I probably shouldn't. But here I am buying tons of stuff because rosaries are my weapon of choice. So if we can get some really high powered rosaries, that's pretty cool. In fact, I'm gonna do some tests. I'm feeling bold. How did it go with Kemu? Did he want to talk to you about something? It was a little more than a leisurely talk. We were asked to go look for Lika and Yoshpet. Yoshpet, you mean the forest in the east? I don't think anyone's been there to look for her yet. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, that forest isn't exactly a prime tourist spot. Eastern, are you really going to go back there? Who says I'm going back? I was using the royal we. I was talking about Furball here. Yoshpet is like another world. Get lost and you might never return. Don't worry. Ami here will find Lika. If that's the case, I'll lead the way. What? I know you must be worried, Easton, but we haven't got much time. What do you mean? The demons are waiting for the Day of Darkness. It's a solar eclipse that occurs once every 100 years. Kamui will be in total darkness for a whole day when it happens. Without sunlight and with the demons' blizzard going on, no living thing in Kamui will be able to survive the day. There are only a few days until the Day of Darkness. If Lika's not here to recite the volcanic incantation by then... Amatras, you're no ordinary wolf, are you? Camus wouldn't have asked you to do this otherwise. Maybe you're the reincarnation of the White Wolf's genre. You must be very strong if you can cope with these soon. And your point is... Sorry, anyway, there's no time to lose. I'll lead you into the forest, Amatras. Come when you're ready. I'm going to head to the edge of the forest. Well, we're not actually going to do that. Sorry, but we're not actually going to do that. I have a plan, and this may lead to a scrap recording, which I'll go into in more detail later. But now that we have a bunch of, well, health, got a bunch of items, I have a plan for a side quest. So I think we're gonna go investigate this side quest in the next episode. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Okami.